Hi! Welcome to Deliciously with Ara. Today we're gonna make pingsu. To subscribe and like! So pingsu is the Korean's most popular summer dessert, perfect for hot weathers like this. You know, ang init ng panahon now, I'm pretty sure that you'll love this recipe. It's very easy to follow kasi gagawa tayo ngayon ng two versions. One is the mango, which is in season right now. We have a lot of yellow sweet mangoes. So we're gonna make mango pingsu and the Koreans 인절미 빙수. So please stay and see the easiness of it, how we can have this taste of Korea in your own homes. Stay tuned! So for pingsu, the base topping of it is gonna be our shaved ice, but hindi lang siya tubig, but because it's gonna be milk-based. It's very easy. All we just need is 1 liter of our fresh milk, and also condensed milk, and some sugar and salt. And for every 1 liter of our milk, fresh milk, we have to put 1 cup of water. So it's like parang 4:1 ang kanyang ratio. So let's open our milk. So I'm gonna do a ratio good for around 2 to 3 kada servings of our pingsu that we're gonna make. So there's 4 cups of fresh milk. We're gonna add 1 cup of water. So it has to be 4:1 ang kanyang ratio. So if you're gonna lessen the amount of milk, syempre bawasan din ang ating tubig. So this is 1 cup of water. So on our milk mixture of milk and water, we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of condensed milk kada cup ng ating milk. So I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of our condensed milk. So now we've added our condensed milk, we're gonna give a little kick of our salt kasi di ba parang isa-supplement niya ang sweetness when we have saltiness on it. So I'm just gonna add around 3 sprinkles, just konti lang, para lang i-boost up niya talaga yung parang sweetness. And then haluin na natin siya. So after medyo nagme-melt na at nag-blend it na yung ating condensed milk, all you need is actually a Ziploc bag. You don't even need an ice shaver, ganyan siya kadali. Open it up and then ibubuhos natin ang ating milk mixture here para ma-freeze natin siya. So after adding your milk mixture, kailangan medyo tanggalin natin yung hangin sa loob para mag-flatten siya when we freeze it later. So remove the air. And then seal it tightly, well. And then get parang something flat, like a tray. So I made 2 bags. Medyo tinanggal ko yung hangin. And then flatten it up like this. It's better to get like a tray or like a wide bowl like this na kasha. And then we're gonna freeze this. It really depends on the temperature of your freezer, but normally it would take around 5 to 6 hours for it to freeze. So ipapasok ko siya sa ating freezer. It's super masarap. So while our ice mixture is being frozen in the fridge, we're now gonna boil our red beans because this is going to be our basis for our 인절미 빙수 or pat 빙수. Sometimes they call it the red beans. So this is my 2 cups of red beans. And just pour very generous amount of water na just to cover it up. And of course, much better if nakababad yung ating beans even the night before. So here, I put generous amount of water and then just like a little bit of a sprinkle of a salt lang. And then pakukulan na natin siya. Stay tuned! So after 5 minutes of my first boil, I'm gonna turn off the fire and itatapon natin yung water. I'm gonna rinse this in cold water, strain it, and boil again. So after straining it, ibalik natin sa ating caldero. Now we're gonna add very generous amount of water, around 3 times the amount of your red beans. And then we're gonna boil it hanggang lumambot na lumambot. To subscribe and like. So you just have to keep constantly checking on your pot. And once you can see na medyo lumalambot na konti ang ating beans, we're gonna open it up. And then we're gonna add 1/2 cup of our white sugar. You can actually use brown sugar, washed sugar, it doesn't matter. Basta 1/2 cup to 2 cups of our red beans. I'm gonna add 1/3 teaspoon of salt just to boost up the sweetness of our sugar. Just parang konti lang talaga. And then gradually stir it up until medyo mag-caramelize and mag-melt fully ang ating sugar. So I've actually boiled for like around 15 minutes, and as you can see, medyo nag-dry out na yung ating water, and the color has darkened. Let's just do a little bit of taste test. Dapat when you bite on the red beans, dapat parang agad na siya mag-crush. Parang very soft ang texture dapat. It's actually very soft already. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add honey. The reason why I'm adding honey after I already added sugar is because the level of the sweetness and then the layer, the flavor it gives, it can actually make it more complementary and supplement one another. So I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar per cup of my red beans. These 2 red cups of red beans, so 6 tablespoons of my honey. Then haluyan natin ang ating honey for it to fully melt. And when we add honey, it also gives like an extra parang gloss on our pat or the red beans. And just keep stirring it para hindi siya masunog sa baba because the pot can get very hot. Stay tuned! So we're gonna now make the injalmi or the Korean rice cake. It's very easy to make and I'm gonna show you the shortcut version of it. Now we're just gonna use a microwave at hindi natin mag-steam. The traditional way really, we have to steam it and maraming kaartehan. But because we just want everything easy, it actually tastes good though. So we need is 1 cup of malagkit powder. So this is just, I got it from a local supermarket. So on our 1 cup of our malagkit powder, and better we're gonna use some like a microwavable container para isang lagayan na lang. And we're gonna add like a small, like around 3 to 4 pinches of salt. So now I've added some sprinkles of salt. Now we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of our sugar, white sugar. Here you cannot add like colored sugar like brown or wash kasi magkaka-color yan yung ating mixture. So we're gonna need like 1 tablespoon of white sugar. And then haluyan natin siya roughly. Just mix it up with our egg beater. And because we added 1 cup of our malagkit powder, we're gonna need 1 cup of boiling hot water. Hindi siya pwede lang parang warm, kailangan talaga ng hot water. So just remember the ratio of 1 cup of malagkit powder, 1 cup of hot water, and 1 tablespoon of our white sugar. And then ibubuhos natin siya here sa ating mixture, pero not all together, but like siguro mga 4 or 5 times na parang konti-konti lang. And then you can either use an egg beater or a fork. Imimix lang natin siya ng imimix. And after it has this parang very thick glue or parang slime, what we're gonna do is cling wrap natin ng ating mixture. Injalmi is actually one of Korea's rice cakes. And because the traditional way is very tedious, we added the hot water kasi parang half-cook niya na yung flour, yung malagkit powder na nilagay natin. Now, we're gonna fully cook this using our microwave. After we cling wrap it, kailangan natin butasan ng mga 3 times just for the heat to come out. So, kuha kayo ng fork and then just siguro mga 3 times. Para merong butas for the heat to come out, and we're gonna microwave this for 1 minute and 30 seconds on high. Must try recipe! So I've microwaved this for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Actually, recommended is 2 to 3 times. And then just open it a little bit and i-fluff natin siya ng konti. And you can see na medyo magiging texture is maging na softer than kanina. And then just fluff it and fluff it. And then cover natin siya isa pa. And we're gonna microwave it again for a second time. Same 1 minute and 30 seconds. So this is already our second time of heating it. And then as you can see, nagpo-puff up, nag-smoothen out. Ipa-puff natin siya ulit. So haluin natin siya ng haluin para medyo lumabas yung hot steam and then pumasok yung medyo lumamig. So it becomes very sticky and very smooth. So try to like cool it down until the temperature na kaya natin siyang hawakan because we have to mold it and add in our roasted bean powder on top of this. So I've actually did a lot of parang sinistir ko siyang sinistir. Injalmi in Korea, parang we have a big parang stone pot and then we heat it up with like parang a wooden stick because the more we put pressure on it, lalo talaga siya magiging sticky. But now because we're doing a shortcut, just make it enough that you can hold the temperature. And then, of course, much better to use really our hands. Try to get some sesame oil, just a little bit para lang mag-coat at hindi didikit yung ating rice cake mixture. So just got a very little bit of sesame oil. Just rub it on my hands. Para lang just enough for it not to dikit. And this is actually roasted soybean powder, which you can get from Korean groceries. So I'm just gonna get like a spoonful of it. Isa-spread ko lang siya sa aking parang on my board. So So now in our rice cake, we're gonna parang i-shape natin siya ng pahaba. And then just keep on, actually this is very fun to do it with your kids kasi they will enjoy. Para siyang parang healthy version of whatever rice cake that we can have, diba? So the more you press, the more pressure, mas magiging masarap and chewier. Now we're gonna get a plate. Mag-spread out tayo ng generous amount of our soybean powder para as we cut, hindi siya didikit. And then try to cut like bite size that you would like to add as a topping for your pingsu. Must-try recipe! So for our injalmi pat pingsu mamaya, we have our pat or the red beans and our injalmi tok or the Korean rice cake already ready. So 2 small pieces of our mangoes, cube natin siya. So on my 2 pieces of sliced mangoes, or if I after na chop, ang ration is around 1 cup ng mangoes, sliced mangoes, I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar. Dahil matamis na yung ating mangoes, hindi tayo masyado maglalagay ng marami. So I'm just gonna add 3 tablespoons of my sugar. And I'm gonna add 6 tablespoons of water. So basically twice ang amount ng ating sugar. So 6 tablespoons and then lutuin na natin siya hanggang maging mag-puree ang ating mangoes. And while the mango puree is being cooked, we're gonna slice already our mangoes para sa ating topping mamaya. I have your very beautiful, like a medium size, like sort of like a big medium sized mangoes. Nahatiin ko siya sa gitna. Actually here, there's really no specific cut. Some do it cubes, but I would do today parang strips na siya ng parang maninipis. And like with my big serving spoon, just scoop out ko lang yung laman. So as you can see, very short lang talaga siya maluto. It purees. But you know what? You can actually also substitute for this is mango jams. But of course, because mangoes is in season and everything homemade is always a lot better, I just made a puree. You don't really have to make it parang super jelly and super parang soup na siya. As long as you can see that the sugar has melted beautifully with your mangoes and you can smell the wonderful sweetness of mangoes around your kitchen, we can just turn it off. And I'm gonna put it on a bowl para malamigin siya mamaya for our toppings. Stay tuned! So here is now our pack of our frozen milk and water with condensed milk. Manipis lang kasi talaga siya, so it's really easy to break with your hands. And then just be careful na hindi mag-pop out ang ating bag. What you can do is just carefully chop, like break it down. And if you have like something like a rolling pin like this, if not even like, you know, any kind of things that can parang pwede magtulong sa inyo mag-crush, just use it slightly. And slightly roll over your mixture para just to loosen it up. And you can just squeeze it with your hands. Ilalagay natin siya sa ating bowl. So first, we're gonna do our topping for our injalmi pat pingsu, the Korean pingsu version. And I'm gonna drizzle just a little bit of my condensed milk. Konti lang. Parang midway lang para may sweetness sa gitna. And we're gonna drizzle a little bit of our condensed milk sa taas din, ng konti lang. And our roasted soybean powder, very generous amount. And kanina the one that we made, our pat or the red beans. We're gonna put it on the center. And some of our injalmi tok that we made kanina on the top. And for mango pingsu, we're gonna put on the center, instead of condensed milk, we're gonna add in our mango puree kanina. Just a little bit, siguro mga isang 1 to 2 spoons lang, para lang may flavor of mango sa gitna. Must try recipe! So tada! Here is our pingsu. I made 2 versions, the injalmi pat pingsu and the mango bingsu. I hope you enjoy this summer with our wonderful, easy recipe of our Korean dessert. Hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye! It's super masarap. So scoop it with the ice cream. I actually added vanilla ice cream and our milk and our mangoes. Super masarap, of course. And now I'm gonna try our pat bingsu. You have both the very Korean and the very Filipino, the mangoes, because it's in season. For sure, your family will love it. I hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye!